cut that. We could talk about woke.
Okay, what is woke? It's what you studied in school, yes?
Degree's right up there. My woke degree, my whole woke degree.
Mary Hannah, Bachelor of Arts.
But, you know, I'm okay with cards being played with. That's what being a woke father and partner is all about.
At least my dad is woke.
That's your new dig?
It's my new dig.
What does that mean?
There have been some people who, very fortunate that they come to me, because I make myself known that I am the woke girl. The woke one, if you will. Very woke. But is that woke? I don't know. I probably cut that. No, I've made it known that I am very woke. In my political, ethical, moral beliefs, I think that is a really important tenet of who I am, is to be...
But what does that mean?
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're talking about the dig. The reason I use that as a dig is because it's not necessarily a dig, but when the whole Charlie Kirk shooting thing happened, I had some of my friends come to me because they know me as woke. And they're like, how do I navigate this with my parent who's not woke? And I'm like, oh, God, this is like, I mean, granted, mom's not woke. So like, had a little bit to deal with that. Nana's not woke, whatever. So I'm like, you just gotta be as honest and as kind. I'm like, depends, do you want to cut him off? You can tell him to fuck off and die, but I don't think you want to lose your mom over this. So help them draft a thing, and then then they go like, oh, how's your parents? I'm like, I don't know, man, my dad's woke. We went, oh, bummer, and went on with our day.
But, okay, yes, I'm woke. The question is like, this is one of those things where if you're not woke, and you are woke, that you should still agree. Nobody should die for your beliefs. Well, almost nobody, including him. Freedom of speech is important. And on top of that, like, what was the fight? What was the concern? Is a non-woke parent going to be like, he should have died? Because people who are woke are like, he shouldn't have died. That's not cool. Like, what's the argument? What's the battle?
It's the disappointment in speaking out against... It's like speaking... The disappointment from a parent of a child speaking ill of the dead. Where it's like...
Well, who spoke ill of... Did they speak ill of the dead?
Well, it's like when people are like, Charlie Kirk got shot. Charlie Kirk... I don't support what happened to Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk supports what happened to Charlie Kirk. Saying stuff like that. Or like reposting his own words. And then people going, you're taking it out of context. It's like, no, he made a career out of hate. I'm just sharing his own words. And then people are taking that as, oh, you're making him look bad on purpose because he's dead and this is an easy target for you. That's where the anti-woke parents come into this.
Is that what your friends thought
That's
they
what
were
my
going to...
friend's mom said, yeah.
Like, repeating back his own words, and mom was like, you're taking it out of context. He said some people gotta die to support the Second Amendment. He's okay with that.
Yeah.
That's what happened to him.
Yeah.
And that's because it was one of theirs. That's where they're like, well, I am woke. And
what
that
my
shouldn't be.
friend posted was something along the lines of, yeah, I guess in order to have our Second Amendment rights, some lives are gonna have to be lost. And I guess that sucks, doesn't it? And it's like, well, she's quoting him. Those were his words.
And the parent took that as...
And the parent took that as like, that is so disrespectful. He was just talking. He was giving his opinion. And it's like, well, the kids at that shooting that day, we're just trying to learn.
So that's the question then, right? Like, it's okay if it's your opinion when it serves you, but it's not okay if it doesn't serve you. Is that the difference? That's what makes somebody woke or not? As long as it's happening not to me and mine, I'm good with it.
Yes.
Happens to me and mine, it's no longer acceptable. Is that what is that kind of the argument of what wokeism is? Knowing that it's bad no matter who it happens to, versus if it only happens to others, that's not woke.
Woke depends on how far your bubble of self extends upon you, or outward from you. Because, like, some people's bubbles only include themselves, very selfish, narcissistic people. They only care about what happens to them and no one else. And then it goes a little bit further. It's like, well, maybe I care about my family. And then there are other people who are like, I care about everyone. And then there are some people who just have no bubble. And then they're like, I care about everything. And you're like, okay, horseshoe, you've come full circle. Why do you have a gun? But I think it depends on a lot. It's a very nuanced topic.
I don't think it is nuanced. I think the cat has an opinion.
And she's woke. She awoke from underneath the bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, she came out for this.
I told you she would.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, she's so...
So you know something's going to happen that make you woke? Are you like a mind reader?
No, but I will say yes, because
Wait, what?
I feel like sometimes I can predict how certain things are going to be perceived publicly and politically. Like the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Great example just because it's recent. But like, we saw an act of violence. Incredibly violent, horrible, should not have happened. A lot of people disagreed with him. A lot of people agreed with him. The only thing that really did was create more of a division with an already divided whole. Like, I know it's going to incite violence. We can already see that happening against trans and queer communities. They're renaming streets. They're holding services.
So that's not all it did then.
It's inciting violence and creating like it's just feeding the us versus them mentality, and that's dangerous.
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think that's what it's doing. It's doing that in part because I think those that want divide are going to take that to serve them. Like those whose bubble don't go that far. Here's how it serves me.
Sure.
And the difference is if your bubble only goes just a little bit, the idea of woke, from what I understand, should be my bubble goes beyond me and mine and concerns all of humanity.
Yeah.
Society around.
You have more to say? You finally said something. You agree?
I mean, I don't know like the exact definition of it, but when I think of woke it's about having compassion for all of humanity.
I don't think you need to have compassion to be woke. Because I'm not compassionate for Nazis.
Well, they're not humans. Sorry, is that anti-woke?
Now you heard what I said at dinner.
But I
A
feel
good
like...
Nazi's a dead Nazi.
I feel like wokeism is very subjective. Like people have their own definitions of it, and until as a society we're like, okay, this is what it actually means.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like those that use it as a derogatory term cannot define it. Well, you're just woke. Well, what does that mean?
Woke to them means you're against me.
Yeah, it just means I have a bubble and you're not protecting my bubble. I'm white and I'm being replaced.
Yeah.
I'm not white, nor am I being replaced.
Well, kind of being replaced. Displaced.
I'm not being replaced. My people are being slaughtered.
Right.
Unrelentingly. I guess you could say the great replacement theory is happening and they're just testing it in Gaza. I don't know if it's really a test when it's just full bore action. And go.
I mean, you could make the argument that it's a test to see how a government takeover and genocide would happen in the 21st century, to see how easy one country could get away with it so that it can continue.
Right.
Yeah, I think that it has been shown in other countries. There's been other genocides and there's been other, I mean, it's just as obvious as the Uyghurs in China, even though that wasn't really a genocide, although some of them, from what I've heard, have been killed, but they've just been enslaved. There's been a whole bunch of stuff in, you know, I think the Baltics had one. There's been others. So where I'm going with this is that it's not that it's any one of these things. It's the powers that be are going to do what they're going to do. They're just trying to find the language to use to get away with it.
Yeah.
And
it's all a PR stunt.
And I think that's what woke comes down to. I think woke is, are you aware that there's a group of people who the rules and laws do not apply to, and you're aware of that, and you have to guard against that, because if they come for you, you're fucked. And being woke is being aware of that. And being anti-woke is saying, no, you don't understand. That has to be because of X, Y, and Z. And it's, you know, yeah, sure, the people that look like me, but we're not racist.
Sounds racist.
I mean, it is racist.
Right.
But that's the question is, the powers that be are doing it anyways. There's no accountability. And So they use the term. They're using the language as a weapon. Saying woke doesn't mean anything. It came from my understanding of it came from Black culture, is saying we're aware of what the man is doing to us. People would teach their kids, hey man, you gotta wake up. You gotta look at what's happening and be aware, because they will come down on you. They have the power. They're coming for us. Be aware. Be awake.
It also, I feel like it comes down to, are you doing the inner work? Because if you're just looking externally and blaming everything externally and not looking within and what's happening generationally within your lineage of, oh, the Holocaust has happened to me, this has happened in my family line, that's stuck in our DNA. Like, that's, whether you're conscious of it or not, like my grandmother's hand. Did you read that? You read part of it. Like the subconscious
grandmother's hands, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the subconscious aspects that are being played out in our external world are happening in our internal world. And until we look within, it's going to continue to play out in the external world.
Well, and that's a good point. I think that's how we solve for it. But again, if my bubble only goes, well, this is what's important to me, I don't care outside of that bubble, then those people aren't going to do the work. What incentive do people have to do that work? Unless it's to protect themselves and their neighbors, there's no incentive to do that. And those that don't care about them, hey, this is me and my bubble, there's no incentive for those in power to do the work. Am I wrong?
Because they just want more money. Because then it comes down to capitalism and like, how much money can I have? How much more power can I have?
She's clapping. Is she clapping? It's not. I don't know that it's more money. I think it's
power.
It's power, and
Yeah,
money is a form.
It's the ego.
Yeah. Well, money is power. In
Money
this
can get you
socio-economic state that we're currently in, money is power.
Right.
That's why you have to be careful where you spend your money. You guys boycotting every Thursday?
Every Thursday?
Every Thursday.
We're boycotting Thursdays now?
No, you're boycotting on Thursdays. There's a boycott every Thursday. Don't shop at any place that sells any Israeli goods. So basically, don't spend money on Thursdays.
Yeah, like that's like saying I should recycle. It doesn't fucking do anything. It's not my responsibility to do, like, this is the world we live in. What we have to do is we have to get a little bit larger than that.
Don't lean against
I think
that.
I just leaned.
Israel's coming for me. The TV hits me over the head. It was an attack. Yeah, I mean, that's great to go out and bang pots and pans once a month and say, our pots are empty, and raise awareness, but...
It's about doing what you can do. It's a
I
little...
disagree.
Well, I disagree with you disagreeing.
Say more.
Some people don't have the bandwidth or power to do everything. To do it all. To donate to every GoFundMe, to repost everything, to do the performative activism of sharing things on social media, which I could also make the argument that performative activism is still a form of activism because you're at least bringing awareness to something. I digress for later topic. But it's like recycling, like glass recycling. I'm going to use glass recycling as an example because that's something that we do at work, and that's something that we all do a really good job of doing at work, is when we use glass, we take care of it, we recycle it, and it goes back. We all die. Are we not going to live our best life while we're here? Are we not going to try and have as clean of a footprint as we can?
What are you saying? Clean the footprint means recycling glass?
Like, I'm saying it's a small thing that you can do that helps, like, the cause, the moral grounds, the standing, where if I'm like, yeah, fuck Israel and free Palestine, and then I'm buying Israeli products, would never. Not me. Ooh. But if I'm saying fuck Israel and then I'm therefore thereby supporting Israel, then I'm a hypocrite. I'm not true to myself. So yeah, every Thursday I don't buy anything. I'm sure that these multi-billion-dollar corporations do not give a fuck that they're losing my money. But I know within myself that I'm doing what I can to do part of the cause. Make $19 an hour. I can't donate to every GoFundMe, guys.
But also, I mean, Target has taken a hit from...
Target, Disney, like, it's boycotts work when people do them. So you talk about it.
Yeah, so you have to make it aware and you have to do something that matters, right? Like the last time we spoke, or I was on here with the boy, it was...
Oh, he said some shit.
He said a lot of shit, which I deleted. But...
You deleted?
It wasn't that he said, I didn't want to start a revolution. And I said, I'm not asking you to start it. I'm asking you to participate in the one that's happening.
Partake in it, yeah.
So you guys have to be aware that there's lots of noise going on. It's getting all picked up. But that's the point, is we're in the last stages of the demise of our country. Democracy, and I'm gonna call it here in case anybody didn't know. The reason the administration and the dipshit in charge is calling state of emergencies and sending in troops is so that when the election comes around, he can claim a state of emergency so he doesn't have to have an election. If you aren't aware of that by now, get the fuck woke. So that's what's gonna happen.
Didn't Hitler do that?
Of course.
Right.
Lots of them did. I think Putin's on the up and up, though. The point is that what is it, like, at this level, what can we do? What needs to be done for woke to actually matter? Like, if we just take the term woke...
Guillotine. Fire.
Fire?
People say violence isn't the answer. I fully disagree. It is the answer.
Sometimes it is.
With where we're at now, it's going to get worse. People are going to keep dying, and it's going to get worse. The government's going to shut down on October 1st. Y'all know that.
Is that because it's your birthday?
Yes. No. I said, everyone take a day off. This is for me. Thank you. No. The Republicans in Congress decided to... I was going to say something very vulgar. They decided to fuck off and not do their jobs, except for make the American people's lives worse. And if they don't come up with emergency funding or a budget, federal government's going to shut down, which also impacts all federal workers, even though they still have to work. None of them get paid, but they still show up to work to serve their community, which is fucked. If fucking billionaires in Congress shouldn't work, neither should the postal workers. Shut that shit down. Go on strike. Burn the place to the ground.
Alright, take it easy. She doesn't mean burn the place to the ground.
I'm not threatening the White House. I'm not.
The point that I'm making...
I have to cut that out. They will kill me.
You said fuck Israel like 7 times.
They already watch me. That's different. I post things every now and then. Have you seen? There's a one of those like political cartoons where it's a guy holding the door open. There's like a full militia outside, and he goes, "Honey, did you criticize Israel online?" That's just me.
Fair enough. So if we hear a knock... Oh shit, they're here.
Don't let them in. No.
Nope.
Nobody's home.
Nobody's.
I'm crushing your spirits. What I was getting at was, does that matter? Are we past the point where that kind of stuff matters? Not spending money on Thursday, government shutdown. That's just the next level. Like, these people have enough money. They don't care. They're using the idea of a government shutdown to make us fret and to have us pick a side, which is to divide us.
It's attention getting. Like, what happens when you take away their power? You take away the attention and the drama of everything that's going on, and then they're like, wait, no, but what?
Yeah, a shutdown would be great because then they don't have to do their job and then they're not in the limelight, but then they make it about themselves.
It just impacts the public more than anyone else.
And they're just using it as a ploy to go, well, they didn't. They did. It's a finger-pointing exercise.
Yeah.
So why do we care about that?
Because I care about the community.
I care
about the people that it's going to affect. I don't care that the federal government's shutting down, but I care that federal workers won't get paid. Parks aren't going to get funding. People who work the parks still have to work. Like,
Do they have to work? Are you sure about that?
I was reading something, I don't know if it's everything, but I saw something online I was reading about the government shutdown because I was like, what the fuck is happening on my birthday?
I mean, I feel like the government shutdown has happened before.
It's close often.
It got close. It's happened a couple of times in my lifetime, at least. But federal workers, most of them do still have to work, and they don't get paid because there's no funding. It's all going to the fucking...
Right. That's why they make the emergency budget and they'll get it passed and
Right.
they'll say, look what we did for the... But does it... At one point, at some point, we have to say, this is too much. Yeah, we're going to shut the government down. We're going to kick everybody in Congress out. We're going to start fresh. Open revolt. Yes, I said it here first. Hot takes.
The guillotine was too far, I guess.
I didn't say it was too far. It was too far out in the shed. We have to go get it and sharpen the blade. Ooh, no, keep it rusty. It's dull. It'll hurt more.
Just Reiki everything.
Did you guys see the congresswoman who was coloring on her iPad? She was even using stickers
No.
during session.
Who the hell was this bitch?
I don't know, some old white bitch. Retire.
She doesn't care.
I don't. You shouldn't be in Congress if you're not going to pay attention. If you're not going to do what's best for your constituents.
Yeah, but nobody pays attention.
That's the
What?
thing.
The attention span of people is literally like 3 seconds.
She said what? She got the game.
That was a bit. That was a really silly bit. No, you're right, and that's wrong. You are
You're
correct.
right.
That is the
That's wrong.
problem.
Well, they have not cared about their constituents in forever, and the ability for us to now see that they literally are not working for us means we have to stop giving them anything and everything. Like, we cannot continue to say, well, I'm going to trust this congressman. Like, they're literally actively working for a different country.
Yeah.
And the United States of Israel is not what we support.
It's not what we support. It's what a lot of people support for some fucking reason.
The reason it is that
But
way
do
is
people even know that it's a thing?
They don't, which is why everybody needs to watch the documentary called Boycott, created by the ACLU. Go watch that. Link below. That will show you exactly how our government gets its money illegally through PACs and through other illegal funds, and why nobody wants to criticize Israel is because they take our tax dollars, send it overseas, funnel it back through illegal means to campaign funds. Why do you think campaigns are about money? They're not about policy. They
Need to take it money out of...
Right, but then there'd be no incentive for these assholes to do this. Like, if you're in power and it's a good power, why would you give it up? This is the question I have about humanity is, how is it that anybody with a fucking heart or a soul can be okay with what's happening in Gaza? Only by pure ignorance. Only by literally not knowing what's happening.
Or
Even
by
though-
being evil.
Okay, I'll grant you that. Either you're evil or you're not fucking awake. Ooh. So woke or evil. Is that where we land?
This day and age, it fucking feels like it.
Is there a difference? Is there anything besides woke? I mean, what other options are there? Evil, woke.
Privileged.
Oh, I know. It's,
Entitled?
I was going to say privileged to not feel like you can partake in politics. To go, I'm not political. One is inherently political.
But that's what woke. That's anti-woke.
So that's evil. Because I would
know,
call
is
that, I would call that privileged. Where it's like, you have led such a privileged life. It's mostly, from what I've seen, from my experience, this is just an opinion. From my experience, the people who get to be not political are middle class or higher white cis men.
Fuck those guys.
I don't.
Or don't. Maybe that's the thing.
I don't agree necessarily with that because I feel like there's a very large community of
woke white
like
bitches?
spiritual
Oh.
people who
Women.
who choose not to be involved in politics. Like, I get politics from you.
She's pointing to me.
Yeah.
Snoopy? Me.
Because
But you still have political takes. I'm saying there are people who
Yeah,
just...
I mean, I have beliefs, but also I just saw a fluffy tail.
This is
I'm not
bad.
paying attention on the regular to
Even
like
Diana's
what's
political.
happening politically. She's
Well-
so cute and fluffy.
But and that's my point.
But
Go ahead.
I can also question.
Yeah.
Do you support LGBTQ rights?
100%.
You're political. Do you
Do I what?
support the queers?
Which ones?
Me.
Fine.
Political. That's the thing. It's what you support nowadays.
But
Also,
it's-
what you stand by, who you stand with, that is now inherently... it's always been inherently political. It's political. Life is political. We live in a country where life is political. because our necessities have come down to politics.
I'm going to be careful. I don't know that everything, I mean, you can call everything politics.
She's political. She doesn't like men.
She doesn't like anybody other than you.
She likes some women. However, my trans male friends, she also dislikes. She's woke.
She dislikes them?
She dislikes them, but my trans femme friends, loves. She's woke. It's about aura, vibes.
It's
Close.
Bill Hicks' book was called Love All the People. They're like, it's not about which ones. It's either you do or you don't. And if you use anything to divide, then you don't. It's black and white. It's a binary choice like gender. Just kidding. Just joking. Not cutting that. No, like the powers that be have to divide to distract us, because at what point, like, Israel and Gaza is so removed. The Palestinians dying on a daily, getting shot because they're being forced into a famine, and children being intentionally shot by the military. Yes, this is happening. That's so far away from us. I've lost them to the cat. They're so far away from us that it's easy to see how people can go, yeah, well, maybe, and have a reason not to do it. But in our own backyard, like, especially in Arizona, where most of us live, it has now become legal to target people because they look or sound Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can anybody...
It's only a matter of time before that's here, too.
Sure. By the way, we're in Utah. Coming to you live. Not live. It's not live. I'm recording.
Recorded live.
Here's the question. What isn't? The question I keep asking myself, and I'll ask you both. What has to be true for the depth of insanity that we're seeing on the daily right now? For there to be a secret cabal of pedophiles at the highest levels of government, and several people are saying, nothing to see here. Like, what has to be true? How deep does this have to be, and how much threat do certain people have to have over their head for anybody to go, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, we don't need to explore that. There's nothing here to hear.
Money.
How much fucking money would that take? Who doesn't have a soul that money can buy that?
Evil people.
How
much money would it take to silence you?
The question is...
That's my question.
What does money get us that, like, what do they have to know? They have to not believe in the religion that they claim. They have to believe that Christianity is false. Because there's nothing even remotely Christian values about that. Not that I'm claiming I am, but I was raised in that faith and I understand the tenets well enough. Go ahead.
It's white supremacy. That's what it comes down to. It's white nationalism, white supremacy. Right.
Cat said hi.
And it's not about faith. I mean, the using religion to further agenda is a tenet of white supremacy. And it's a means to get power. Fascism. Not like it's
But what does that get you? I get what you're saying, sure.
It's
but my point is, what does that get you?
Moral superiority. They think they're better than everyone else because I'm not saying this is true. Their skin is pure, their eyes are blue, yada yada. Because
we're not talking about Sydney Sweeney.
I don't even want to talk about that. I do want to talk about that actually because it pisses me off, but we're not going to because that's a very small part of the larger problem, but it kind of woke some people up, which is kind of cool. But like, besides the point, I truly don't think it has anything to really do with faith. I think faith is a front line for this good Christian nation. This country, sure, was built on Christian ideals. But more importantly, and largely, larger. It
Huge.
was huge. It was it was built on white supremacy. It was.
Yeah, but we want to hide all those parts of ourselves.
Because that's not woke. It's bad PR. That's how people start boycotting. You lose money. And the only reason that they want this power and grab them by the goody bits is so that they can grab them by the goody bits. So they can do whatever they want in their sick, twisted ways. And if you have enough money and power and influence, you get to do that. The way to get that is by being evil. Very few people make it to the top of the chain by being kind. I quite literally cannot think of one. Name one and I'll tell you why they suck.
Dalai Lama.
Oprah.
Oh, she's evil.
Not great. I'm
The
thinking
Tibetan leader.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Pick a different one. I don't know enough about that man to talk shit about him.
But see, that's the thing.
Even Gandhi
You can talk
married
shit about...
children.
He what?
Gandhi married children.
He married children?
Children.
To each other or to himself?
To himself. Child brides. Which is still legal in the United States. Happened the other day in Michigan. Happens every day, actually.
What? Okay, you're jumping sharks now.
I jump sharks left and right when it comes to feminism. Cause it's the greater root of evil.
So you're saying that these guys want to hold on to their power and still do whatever, and they then obviously justify it, like Mitch McConnell justified every stupid fucking political thing he did by saying, well, it wasn't a Thursday when we did it last time.
Exactly. There was a cloud in the sky, therefore, it could not have been sunny.
But think about, again, I'm going to ask the question, like, she can't talk, stay focused. What has to be true for the human creature, like we're all humans, the three of us have compassion. What has to, like I guess what I'm getting at is, like, doesn't it have to be true that these people that do that are like, I'm good enough that I don't care if black, brown people burn in hell. I don't care if there's a genocide. I'm going to lie about it point blank, and I'm going to pay people to lie about it so that it gets distraction.
It comes down to beliefs.
And the manipulation to make someone believe that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Because our beliefs are a certain way. If somebody else has another set of beliefs, that's the box that they sit in. That's the belief system that they move through life with.
The lens by which they view life, you mean?
Yeah, so to them, that's what seems normal. That's what seems...
That's why white supremacism is okay, because that's how they were raised?
Yes.
Right. That's what they know. And because the other aspect of it is when somebody is different than you, that... What's the word I'm looking for? The word that's coming is, it triggers you to go, that person's not safe.
I get it.
And
fear. It triggers fear.
So these...
Which then brings in, like, the whole neuroscience aspect of it.
So these Oquetziochos, the white devil, went overseas, picked up a bunch of black people, made them slaves, and then feared them? Or did they say, in order to maintain this power, we have to tell others they have to fear them? They created that narrative, but that's why they're saying we don't want any of this knowledge out there, is because we don't want them to know we made the fear. The white devils made the fear about race.
Yeah.
There was nothing to be afraid of. They were in control. They had the boomsticks and they had all the slave ships. That cat is driving you crazy.
I'm recording.
The on-air light is on.
I gotta get one of those like giant neon signs that just says shut up.
So the fact that it comes down to beliefs, but why is it that people, when they get questioned about their beliefs, they hold firm, even in the light of their own belief system being challenged with their own feelings, going, yeah, that's not right. Well, I don't know why I believe that. Like, why? What is it about humanity that says, nah?
Selfishness comes back to the bubble. Your wokeness hurts me. If you gays can get married, what does my straight marriage mean? What does marriage mean in the first place, brother?
Man and woman. Marriage is a wonderful institution.
No.
it seems to me that there has to be something bigger, something deeper, because there has to be something bigger and deeper at play, valuable, some knowledge they have that they're like, yeah, the ice caps are going to melt, but climate change is a hoax. Maybe they just know the world is coming to an end and they're like, we don't care. We're going to do whatever we can to stay in power until it does. Like, how can a group of people just be so ignorantly evil? I just don't. I think there's something else that we're missing, because I just can't believe in that much evil. I'm too woke to believe it.
Do you not remember when I asked you this exact same fucking question?
Apparently not.
We
Tell
were
me
at
more.
Brick Road Coffee, and I was like, dog, I don't fucking get it. Why are people evil? And you're like, money and power and capitalism. You didn't say that. I'm saying
Road,
that.
Which Brick Road? Was that in
Tempe.
Got it. That's your fun spot.
Was, yeah. Good
Yeah.
spot. Love that place.
Yeah,
Check it
well,
out. Support
that's-
local.
Support local. Yeah, but that's what I'm asking now is, yes, people are evil, but I'm asking, nobody says they want to be. There's a few people who want to be evil. Your brother.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because what I was going to tag along to yours.
Okay.
Well, I'm not saying my brother is evil. He is not evil. I think he leads a very privileged life.
Oh yeah.
We know that. Very Aryan looking boy. Gets what he wants when he wants it. He doesn't have to worry about...
My heart goes out.
Don't do that, brother. He doesn't have to worry about a lot of things. And we've had many conversations with him where he's like, I don't get why you're so afraid of blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, because you don't live the life that I live. He doesn't live the life that you live. He doesn't live the life that we like.
What was it you were saying doesn't understand you were afraid of? What exactly?
We had a conversation where I was talking about cops, where I was like, I am afraid of police officers. I am. And rightfully so, because the violence against women from police officers is just as or sometimes greater than when it happens to men, but you hear about it when it happens to men, because when it happens to men, it's wrong. Like,
Of course.
you know Kimberly Crenshaw?
No, not Kimberly of Crenshaw.
Kimberly Crenshaw. She, lawyer, coined the term intersectional feminism, had a TED Talk, absolutely beautiful. It was titled Say Her Name, and it was a list of so many Black women who had been brutalized by police, and like timelines of when, like when Black men were also getting brutalized, but you never heard her name. You only heard his name. And it's talking about like the intersectionality of how gender, race, and class and ability all play into our daily life and how we're perceived.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I'm afraid of cops because I know how cops treat women. I've seen the statistics. I've heard horror stories. It happens. That's the thing. If you don't have a story, you know someone who does. Every woman has a story. And that's shitty. And that's sad and that sucks. But we're talking about it. And he's like, I don't get why you're so afraid. Just, if you're not doing anything wrong. And I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. In, I think, like 40-something states, police can determine consent. That's not right. That's fully fucked up.
To be clear on what that means, they can determine consent if they want to have sexual relations with
a detainee.
With a detainee, right?
Yeah. And we were talking about that, and he's like,
What?
Welcome to the party.
we can totally fact check this. Fact check blurb. How many states it's legal? But it's multiple states. And I'm not entirely sure if Utah's one. I think Arizona was one at one point. But we were talking about this. And then you were talking about your experience where you were going to put your tags on your car and the cop reached for his gun.
Oh, I wasn't going to put the tags. I was told to put the tags on my car
Right.
by one cop, and another cop, as I was instructed, another cop
Right.
grabbed his weapon as if he was going to draw on me.
Right. And that was when Tank...
I consented.
I think... That's not funny. That was, I think, when Tank got a little, like, oh, I'm white. Oh, I live a different life than we live.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that's also why when you guys were having your podcast episode and I was watching it and I'm like, holy fuck, I have got to talk to this kid because some of the shit he said is absolutely not okay. Not because what he said is inherently wrong, I believe it to be wrong, but because saying something along the lines of some of the misogynistic shit he said has a deeper rooted issue that he's not aware of.
Yeah.
And right, until I bring it to his attention and I'm like, dog, you gotta shut the hell up sometimes. But it's a deeper rooted issue, and that's also why there was one time you told me that I should talk to him because he was engaging with some media that was not acceptable. He was talking about Tucker Carlson and how he's like switched lines, and I'm like, you gotta check it because that pipeline from strong, independent, masculine men to right-wing fascism is a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's a string that's like damn near invisible at this point, and it's so dangerous because it is such a slippery slope. But that's how belief systems and being manipulated and forming these young minds of like Andrew Tate, Charlie Kirk, Nick Fluentes, they're geared towards young, impressionable minds. None of them are fucking educated, but they're just smart sounding enough to go, I know what I'm talking about. You should believe this too. And if someone challenges you, not only are they wrong, but they're afraid of you, and you should make them more afraid of you.
Yeah, I've heard that theory.
T.
So I'm glad.
Read Everyday Sexism.
What?
Everyday Sexism.
Everyday Sexism.
By Laura Bates. Really good book. Link in bio.
And it also falls into...
I've never been a YouTuber before. This is fun. Might cosplay as this more often.
the aspect of being a part of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if it's...
He gets me kind of.
Yeah, exactly. There's...
loneliness epidemic.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I forget the name of the book, but it goes very in depth about how loneliness is a root cause of many illnesses, mental and physical, and that when you are able to get into those brains, because college students, they're away from home, they're away from family.
It's starting younger than that now, though, because screens are being pushed onto children younger and younger. They're getting these problematic views spoon-fed to them on a fucking iPad.
Yeah, that was one of the arguments somebody had against Charlie Kirk. It's like, it was interesting what he did. He would go to college campuses and debate kids and have all this great opinion. You're a full-grown adult. Pick on somebody your own age. You got to debate kids? Like, that's a weak-ass fucking ploy. Like, give me an audience. I will convince them of anything, any side, any position, just because their brains aren't fully developed. And I have the gift of gab. Like,
well, that, and they're not prepared. He's got a list of facts and fact checkers in front of him, all completely biased, but college students are walking up and just going, you're wrong. And he goes, well, tell me why, and then talks over him.
Right.
Well, he used to. What, am I wrong?
No.
Sorry, is that not a fact? Am I not allowed to say that?
Facts don't care about your feelings, libtard.
Oh, I wonder where I heard that before. Oh, yeah, all the bumper stickers. Calvin pissing on your feelings, right? Yeah. Your feelings now matter? I don't think so. Okay. So, where did we land? Beliefs are important, and being manipulated by at an earlier and earlier age, and perspective because of how we are raised and what the laws are.
But laws don't apply to everybody.
What?
Laws are socioeconomic threats put onto us by the government.
Say that again.
Laws are socioeconomic threats placed upon us by the government to keep us in line. Because they don't apply to everybody.
So what do we do about it? What's the takeaway? Let's do a takeaway round. Miss Elisha, what do we do? What's the next step?
We do our inner work.
And just for the audience at home, what does that look like?
Oh, that's right. I'm kind of biased in that.
No, but like...
Around my belief system.
Right now.
I am the most unbiased motherfucker in this room, except for Diana the cat. What does it mean to do the inner work?
It means to question every belief that you have and to really look at who are you at your core.
What do you truly want the world to be like? How do you want... Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't heard this before, so I'm talking it through with you. Okay.
And also look at like, for a lot of people, if you look at your kids, they look a lot like you. They may have the same health issues as you. Is that something generationally happening? And that
It's at least happening today.
and that you're training your children to be just like you, unless they step outside and go, wait a second, is this something that I also believe in, or is this something that my parents believed in?
And I'm just passing it down.
And I just picked it up because I was in that environment.
Yeah, no, that's good. And we talked about this a little bit. Can I throw what we talked about, like the idea of how I'm going to teach you how to raise parents. I'm going to teach you how to raise kids. It's not what you want them to be. It's asking them what they want to be and helping them become that, no matter what it is, whether it's gay or a Snoopy lover or a cat owner or a single cat woman living in Utah or a non-threatened white male.
A white boy in Scottsdale, God forbid.
You love your brother, though.
I love my brother so much. He's great. We're gonna have a talk after this because he's gotta be more woke. He's gotta be the change. To be the change you want to see in the world. One good thing that came from that was a nice saying, but he's gotta step up his game.
Okay, so Miss Elisha says we have to do the inner work. Meri, when you say step up our game, what's the solution here? Unless you had more.
I always have more, but go
Okay.
ahead.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, the throat clear.
I don't know.
What?
It's crazy. I know a lot. Not that.
Use your
So-
volume.
Oh, I don't know. I have spent many years and many monies, some of my own, some of not my own, to get a degree.
Privilege.
Very much so. I've never once not claimed to be privileged. Anytime I'm like, I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I'm fine. There's a roof over my head. I am not being bombed. I'm very privileged. I'll make it through this. I'll call a friend. I'll be okay. But I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort and mental energy studying the fucked upness and the fascism, the misogyny, the racism, the classism, the like, I've studied so much of it, and I see how some things work. I see how some things can make society better. I see how some things can make it worse. But with everything, with where we are currently at and how the systems are working, because it's not that the systems are failing us, it's that the systems that are put in place are working just as intended, which keeps us just above to keep the economy a little okay. Like, we're housed right now. But it keeps us just settled below the fact that we're still stuck in this cycle of not being able to do more, of not being able to hit that next level of awareness or inner work or like yada yada, whatever. Some people are fortunate enough to get to that point. Some people aren't, but that's a whole like class thing, whatever. To get to a point where this is no longer an issue, the system that has been put in place must be torn down.
The patriarchal system has to be taken out.
Well, yes, patriarchy does play a huge role in this, but it's also, well, this is the reason why I want to get that other degree, because it's not just women, gender, and sexuality studies. It transcends so much further than that, to where truly what I think needs to be done,
That's what the question was.
I know, and I'm gonna rant. Full revolution, fucking French style. It worked. It does. I'm not advocating for violence.
Kind of a little bit.
But I'm advocating for violence because what they are doing onto the public is so inherently violent. These harmful policies, the way that they're legitimately killing us. They're poisoning our food. They're beating us in the streets. They are killing us. And then when we go, we need help, they're killing us more. The only way to break out of that is to give them a taste of their own fucking medicine. Now, what does that look like? I don't know. How do we get out of that? I don't know. I have never seen fascism in decay in this century. I'm living it. That is the life. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what rebuilding a society looks like. I know it has to be done, but in what way? I don't know.
Hmm.
Learn about it. Talk to people.
Well, I think
Try.
that leads up to what I think needs to happen, which is a combination of both of you, of what you said, which is I don't think we have to question everything. I think we have to question when we hear something from those that are in power. I was going to say leaders, but they're far from fucking leaders. But those that are in power, when they say something that we know point blank is wrong, evil, and horrible, we have to question why would they say that, and is that acceptable to us? And if it's not, I don't care what the answer is. We have to do anything and everything. Guillotine, revolution, inner work, Molotov cocktail, all of it.
Everybody just needs to pop some Molly.
We can talk to Jay. But
Does he?
he does couples therapy with, what is it? MDMA, sorry.
Oh.
But no, I think we have to question what is it that they have that they want to keep, and it's got to be more than just money because they have all the money. They have all the power. There's got to be something else. Question it. What is it that they have that they want to keep, and what can we do about it? What are we willing to do to release ourselves from their grip? That's what I think needs to happen. So a combination, the inner work of asking the question, challenging the status quo, and thinking for ourselves about, is this what I want to live in?
I also feel like there's a part of this which I still haven't fully fleshed out, or maybe just don't know how to speak to per se, but there's a component of it around love. Because if you keep fighting something, it's just pushing up against it. But when you surrender, like what happens when the bully doesn't get a reaction anymore?
Well, he keeps going until he gets punched in the throat.
But does he go on to the next target who,
It-
like,
Let me-
there's definitely...
Let me throw this at you. I'll say this piece. You guys have your final words after this. It reminds me of a story of a Buddhist monk that was traveling through, and I don't have all the details probably accurate, but he was traveling through towns, and he came to this one town, and they were mad at the Buddhist monk because of he was from Tibet or whatever, and they disliked that branch of the monastery because there was political whatever. And so all the members of the community came out and were just yelling at him and swearing at him and insulting him. And he just sat there and smiled and took it. And after a while, there was a little bit of a lull. He says, pardon me, if you guys are done, I'm going to move on. If you have more, I've got to go to the next town, but I will come back. If you have more to say, I will come back and I will give you a chance. But I would like to move on right now. And one of the townspeople said, are you dumb? Do you not understand? We're insulting. We're calling you names. We're mad at you. And he calmly said, if you take a box of candy to a loved one and they don't eat it, what happens? Well, we distribute them amongst the family. We all share in that. And if somebody brings you flowers and you don't receive them, oh, we put them out so everybody can see them. Exactly. I'm taking your insults so you don't give them to each other. Like the Buddhist monk was willing to do that. It's a lovely story, lovely sentiment. So to love, like, here's the question I have, like I said, this will be my last bit, and I'll leave it up to you guys to end it strong, which is, what if they know that? And they're leveraging this whole spiritual revolution to go, love is the answer. Bury your head in the sand and pay no attention. Because that's what you see with a lot of your spiritual people. They're like, oh, I don't get political. Well, they're getting fucked just like the rest of us. What if that's part of the ploy?
Maybe it is.
Final thoughts?
Big breath. Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, part of it, I think, comes down to people want to be heard and seen. And I know in my own healing process, like, that's a huge part of it, is when people, like, all this energy is built up in our system. And when we finally are heard and seen in a way where our system can somatically move through and release it, it takes away the charge. So there's no longer that desire of, I'm super loud in everything that I speak about and everything, because I finally feel my energy is balanced. And so it's ultimately bringing each system into balance.
So we have to put magic mushrooms in the water supply?
Yeah, that's the answer.
Is that what you were saying? I mean, you're talking about the individual, and I get that, and I think that's a great stance. So I'm. Is there anything on the larger scale that you think?
It comes down to you have to do the individual work.
Fair enough. All right, Miss Meri Moo, last words, last thoughts. She's sitting there quietly and patiently. It's kind of scary.
Thank you. I don't know. Individual work is important, but you're right. People aren't going to cause commotion and drama if their needs are met. Needs aren't being met.
Right.
Are you saying that if I understand your argument, you're saying that needs aren't being met? That's why there's a lot of fists in there and calls for revolution, is because they've gotten too greedy. They were keeping their thumb on us. Now they've got their knee on us, and you're saying that's too much?
I'm saying that what is happening in our country isn't a democracy, it's an oligarchy. And while we know that, they're using the guise of democracy to make us think that, like, by the people, for the people. It's not. And it hasn't been. Our needs aren't being met, and now, because it's gotten so far, their greed and selfishness has gotten so far to where now they're like, we're cutting Medicaid.
We don't care anymore.
We don't care. We're cutting it, and I don't have to tell you why. You're going to ask why, and I'm going to go, because I don't fucking like you.
Yeah. They've gotten enough power that it no longer matters. They don't have to keep up the charade.
They don't have to keep up the charade of, we care about the American people. It's going to save you so much money on your taxes. No. They're saying, it's going to cost you more. You're going to get worse health care. And I'm going to get richer. So, work needs to be done. Needs need to be met. Revolution must occur.
And on that note, coming to you live from Utah, I have Miss Elisha, Miss Meri Moo. I appreciate you guys being here. And I will have some follow-up questions. And if you have any questions, put them down in the chat. If you want to know where we live, go fuck yourself.
Trace the IP address. Anyone can do that nowadays.
It's going to go back to my house, guys. I'm going to upload it from my house.
That's fine.
And scene.